And we're live on a Sunday. Imagine that. Sunday. With 108 days, 7 hours, and 58 minutes until the 4th annual No Name Nationals. That's kind of odd, isn't it? This kind of sounds kind of weird, doesn't it?
It's coming down to it.
Yeah, so we're going to have a little content creator workshop time here for anybody who wants to join us. We've got several in the house. Like Lars was here early. Bruce Colleton is here. Dean Stevenson. I don't care what time of day it is. I don't know when he sleeps. JB drifts in like an iceberg. Wrong English, the Lone Wrench Garage, who is currently running 4th in the No Name 500. He's here to get his learn on, and we're going to hope to help him as much as we can. Mohawk 62. We'll also have guests coming in through the chat who can help too. But
yeah,
the whole point of today is this is not like Friday. It's social hour. It's kind of chaotic in a fun way. No, Damien, that will be just you.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, you might be thinking of some other kind of creators.
Nobody wants to
teach him a sponge. Well, no, so the thing is, I try to have guests on for these from time to time who have done it, who have done what you want to do. And Lars would be one of those guys, right? In fact, all of us have been No Name 500 people at one time, even before there was such a thing. As I said on Friday, I was a No Name 500 guy in 2019. There just wasn't such a thing. It wasn't called that then, but yeah. So Lars is, he definitely has his short game on and doing the shorts.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Lars got 5,500 subs off of one short one time.
Yeah.
He's proof that it doesn't have to work but once. But we'll get into, how to do shorts from your phone, that kind of thing. Ways to title things, ways to tag, good shortcuts for producing content, stuff like that. What makes you more efficient in your content? What makes your content more watchable to more people? We can get into any of that kind of stuff today. How to edit. The one thing I do try to do on these, and again, it's really informal, right? Like it's really informal. But the big thing is a lot of people overcomplicate the whole content creation thing. They overcomplicate it. And I'll see people with, let's say 80 or 100 subs, which is great. And they'll ask a question about, video editing, like using Filmora or CapCut or something like that. And I'm like, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, to get started, just make more content. Show us more who you are. Post stuff. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, and just put stuff out there. You'll get better as you go. And I think a lot of people, the paralysis of wanting to perfect editing as they go or to the very best of their ability to begin with holds them back a lot.
Right.
And so Cowboy Car Crushing, how many subs do you have now, man? That's a great channel right there with minimal editing, right? His channel's a lot more like mine probably than most anybody's in here, because even though he's not live streaming his car crushing, he still is one take on the loader doing his thing, and he basically produces live content. He just releases it later. So, but I love his channel. It's fun, right? So there's different themes, different channels, different things you can do. SSR Performance is here. Landon sneaks in. Big Mike of the Hoopty Barn. He's working on his 2025 No Name Nationals build. He will leave one piece of advice for the contenders. Just keep putting out content. That is excellent advice from a guy who did it, a former No Name 500 guy himself, Big Mike. And he also is, Big Mike's not only a role model for how to get your 500 subs, he has built 3 years in a row and working on his 4th year in a row of a new build for each season. So he's a get stuff done guy if ever one was. Bookended by 2 other get stuff done guys in the chat, being Big James and Cowboy Car Crushing. So 29,700 subs. My editing consists of record, pause, and post. There you go. Now, but when your editing consists of record, pause, and post, guess what that also means? Your production gets really, really good.
Right.
because you know you're not going to cut it all up and fix it all in editing later. And his production is really good. His presentation is excellent.
Which comes with just doing more of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was kind of funny. I remember a couple of years ago, I think it was for the first No Name Nationals. We had Barkley wanted me to record the outgoing phone message when people called the Dragway for that weekend's race. It's on Tuesday or something. So I made the message, and Barkley says, "All right, man," says, "take as many tries as you need and all of this." And they sit down, and I just ripped it off in one take. He said, "Man, you got everything in one take." I said, "Yeah, but I'm used to doing live. I have to." So everybody's different at this. Cowboy Car Christian says, "YouTube is a hobby to me." Great. That's probably why you enjoy it.
I think that's most of us.
Oh yeah, it's a hobby for me too. In that, I don't make anything from this. I got a monetized channel, but I just put it back into the No Name Nationals, however many pennies it makes me in a year. It did pay for the drive-in movie that year we did it. It paid for that for me.
Yeah.
But it is just fun. Well, so Cowboy Car Crushing, when did you start your channel? I've been watching you for years. When did you start?
Says he joined in 2015 from what I see.
2015. Okay. Okay. Is that how long you've been doing your crushing videos and so forth? Because I gotta say, I like his format. It's different. There are a few other channels that do junkyard car crushing on their channels, but they do them a little differently. Like there's another pretty popular channel where they set up a camera at the crusher. He runs his on his loader, which I think is different. And so he's doing live commentary while he does it, which I like better. Everybody does different stuff. But I like how many different ways there are to have a successful, fun channel, interactive channel. And then he puts messages on cars for viewers and stuff like that, which is just super cool. Yeah. But I think that channels like his show you interaction, how that builds an audience. Answering your comments, it builds an audience. You can see these common things, right?
And that's half of the things, interacting with the audience. And
yes, answering comments is a big one. Unfinished project is mowing hay. Y'all have fun. Hey, thanks for stopping by, sticking your head in. We appreciate you. I just finished mowing lot 1 of 4. More to do.
Well, I did yesterday, earlier in the day.
But anyway, Lone Ridge Garage specifically in here is trying to get his 500 subscribers to No Name Nationals. There's no reason he can't do it. It can happen. He's got plenty of time. He's got good content. I mean, I've seen his stuff. So we're just going to, I guess we'll just mention some things in general right now. And of course, ask any questions you want. Not saying Lars and I know everything, because believe me, you could write libraries of stuff we don't know. But we know people who do know stuff, so we can probably try to get you a good answer. But, we know enough to help you get started. Cowboy Car Crushing says, you don't need expensive equipment. I use a $100 Android. Yep, I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. Videos on cell phones,
Absolutely. I filmed my best videos with an iPhone. Rob's Rod and Streetcars here. Howdy, Rob. Yep. JB, I remember JB and Lars making it in the No Name 500. They earned their subs one at a time. Just ground it out, posted content, and did it.
Short after short.
Yeah, that, and we wouldn't at that point. We didn't do much editing, just point, click, and put it up there.
Yep.
Still, and every now and then Lars come in. Let me look at that video. No, we can do better.
Yeah, as long as you don't get paralysis about it, you'll get better as you do it. But I guess if I'm going to suggest some things to people just to try to get started in this YouTube thing, you want to post content very regularly. Cowboy Car Crushing says, most important thing is be yourself an audience. The audience can tell if you're full of it. Yeah, that's true. This is true. Be yourself. You know, do your thing. I mean, like me, you see me on Friday nights, I'm being myself. I'm probably a little more turned up version of myself, but I live my gimmick, right? I talk to Lars more offline than I do on. I'm the same person. But yeah, be yourself. You're not a TV star. You don't want to be a TV star. This is better. YouTube is better than that. This has credibility. But now, if you want to get started, just realize, I mean, there are 100 things all around you in your life that you can make content on, right? Just put it out regularly.
Yeah.
And I knew when I heard people talking about the very beginning of this season in January, I would hear them saying, well, when the weather warms up and I get out to the track, I'm going to start making content. And I think that's the wrong way to go. Because you're just so far behind. It's like, if you think about it, there's things all winter long you're doing. Might be in the garage, might be, you know, something, but you're doing stuff. And if you get in that habit, by the time you get out to the track, not only will you probably already have your subs, but then you got all this more stuff you can do.
Yeah, I probably post more non-car stuff or
Sure
of car stuff, you know, and most of it are people, but I mean, you'll be amazed on what people will watch.
It doesn't have to be car content either. I mean, because we all have, you know, non-automotive stuff in our lives, right? Like, I mean, we're going to talk about the 30 shorts in 30 days challenge. It's going to be coming up. We'll talk about it a little bit later. I'll wait till probably bottom of the hour. We have a little bit more people in here, but you know, one day I wanted to do a short. I just had these rusty tools. I said, you know what? I'm going to clean these up with white vinegar and see what it does, right? Okay, that short probably got 10,000 views, handful of subs. And I did that as part of my 30 shorts in 30 days, just to show you with just what's around in your garage, around your house, in your daily travels, there is plenty of stuff to do, plenty of stuff to film. Landon says, I post everything, seems to work. It does. Lars's biggest sub gainer had nothing to do with cars.
And I wasn't even video or speaking in it, you know. I put audio from another video over it.
Right.
But
I think the big one is make that content and don't get paralyzed saying you have an idea you want to do. That's great. Have an idea you want to do, but don't get paralyzed on these smaller ideas along the way. A short is very easy to make. A short is like a video meme. Hey, there's Tony's Hot Rod Garage. What's up? Well, we're having a little content creator workshop. We're giving an opportunity for people who are trying to gain some subscribers and improve their channels a little bit and make their 500 subscribers go to the No Name Nationals. Cowboy Car Crushing's in the chat today. Glad he's here. Just throw it out there and see what sticks. I agree. You know, I'll tell you something else too. If you're friends with any of these bigger channels, just say, hey, I'm trying to make it to the 4th annual AHRA No Name Nationals. You know, I mean, you never know.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, people respect people working and grinding it out and hustling, right? If you don't think a channel like Cowboy Car Crushing does, look what he does for a living. That guy hustles every day, right? A lot of folks in this chat do. There's a lot of ways to gain subs. You can ask people you know at work. You can ask people you know here or there, your friends, put it out on your other social media, other channels, you know. But the big thing, probably the one thing, the base to always keep doing is keep making content. Keep putting out content. And if you put out a piece, I have never seen a channel fail to make it. Our graduation rate is about 75% right now. I've never seen a channel fail to make it that put out content regularly. Never once.
Yeah. Now the ones that put, I have seen them not get their subs.
Never seen a channel that didn't make it unless they quit. Cowboy Car Crushing says, remember the hate comments pages as much as the club comments. Yeah, when you get to monetize, they do. But also remember, too, when you're starting out and your channel's not monetized or anything, haters are usually people who can't do what you do. So it's easier to just crap on you than to, you know, have anything positive to say. There's just those kind of people. I mean, what are they going to do, right? Usually these people with all of this sideline advice and don't like what you're doing, you'll go look at their channel and they have no subscribers, they have no content, so they won't risk their ego to do what you're doing, but they're happy to tell you how to do it. So just keep on going. You can have a little fun if you want to with them, but just don't get bogged down with them. Just move on. There's the infamous Nova. What's going on?
Most people end up going to your channel, they'll leave a hater comment.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, think about it. If they go to your channel, they leave a comment, they leave a thumbs down, whatever, they still helped you with the analytics and helped you with the machine, right?
So bring it on.
Tony's been doing dump truck repairs and maintenance all weekend, right on. Well, I just jumped off a mower and just finished that. Lars and I thought we'd come in here and try to help some folks get their YouTube channels moving. This is geared for the people trying to get their 500 subscribers for the No Name Nationals. It's geared for that, but doesn't have to be. Let me see here. I'm going to put up my regular background, come to think of it. This one. Oh, people reminded. How about that?
Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, Cowboy Car Crushing said advice. I had no idea how many car crushing experts there are. Exactly. People who've never done it before, yet they know all about it. Oh, yeah, precisely. Yeah, I bet he wishes he had $1 for every time he had somebody tell him he shouldn't have crushed this or shouldn't have crushed that. Like these guys that are, they like, oh, man, I'd have bought that. I'm like, well, it sat there 50 years. Why didn't you? Infamous Nova asks where the No Name Nationals is going to be this year. It is going to be in Sikeston, Missouri, at the Skelton Raceway, Sikeston Drag Strip, where it has been since its inauguration. It is going to be a great time, and we hope you can make it.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a blast. Tony says the first 100 is the hardest, and Tony's a guy who knows. Again, he's a No Name 500 guy. He came the first year as a spectator, had way too much fun, got his 500 subs, got his truck together, came out the second year. I mean, he's a role model for how to make stuff happen. The show me state. Boy, they're like that down there too. You got to earn it with those people. They're a rough and tumble bunch down there in Missouri, but they're great. They're great people, but they don't cut you any slack. You gotta keep your word and do your stuff to do business down there. I like those people.
Me too.
Hardest working. The family that runs the track down there, the Skelton family, they're awesome. And they're super hard working, just great people, right? But they're just tough people. They don't put up with anything, and you got to do what you're supposed to do, and you keep your word and all that. But I'll tell you what, they run that track so well, everything's great. And I can totally work with people like that all day. I think they're great. So Mopar's Mustangs Minivan says, I got to tell you, you might be at the gate asking everyone pulling into the track to subscribe. Ask me how I know. Yes, he did exactly that. Damien got his 500 from people in line to get in. That's how he got his on game day. He showed me on his phone. I said, send me that screenshot and go get in the tech line.
Part of it. AHRA.
We've had two do that, actually. Three. Turbo Tom got his 500 while we were lining up for the group photo. Technically, he was later than anyone. Tony's Hot Rod Garage says, get registered and throw out the content. 500 will be a piece of cake. Yep.
Registering is a big part of it because that puts it on your list of people for all of it. People like me, maybe, to go watch, and we know.
Well, so we do this for the people, primarily for the people who are registered. That's how we know who actually means it, who's actually risked their ego, put their name out there, thrown their hat in the ring publicly and said they're doing it. There may be other channels out there who are thinking about it. And what we would say is, we don't want to sound self-serving to say it, but when you register, that is that public commitment that says, I'm doing this. And that's how people know to get behind you. Because once you're registered, that's when your channel goes up on my main page. That's when the mods start posting links to your channel. And that does have an effect to help you get started. It says to people you're serious. Lone Ridge Garage says, I've been posting car show clips regularly and cross-posting on Facebook and Instagram, but my viewers are still trickling in. Yes, they will. They will trickle. They will trickle at first. But it's like it ramps up as it goes. It's got an exponential effect. Your first 100 definitely are the hardest.
And he has been watching them. And like
me too.
Takes one. I know, Buck does it, for instance. He was a guy who went to a car show just like Lone Ranch is doing now, did a bunch of shorts. And he take off. It just, you don't know which one it'll be or when it'll be, but.
Yep. So talking about that, so Lone Ridge Garage says that. Now here's the next thing. Posting that content is the most important. The next thing is, I would say, to maximize getting your views and subs and get yourself started and out there and established, I try to recommend sticking to around a minute of content per 100 subs. It's kind of like a baseline, right? So shorter video, and I don't mean just shorts. Shorts is like its own thing. It's its own format. It's its own feed. I'm just talking about shorter, and that people have short attention spans. So, a 2-minute video, that's a lot of video. Really, it is. So you take, like, say, a 2-minute video, and do have in your videos you and what you're working on, right? And you'll get better at presenting as you go. But make sure your audio is good, right? People don't have much patience for watching something when the audio is no good, when you're trying to present, right? Cowboy Car Question says, don't be discouraged. Automotive stuff is in the top 5 searched and watched stuff. Keep posting. I agree. And some of the best stuff that I think I've ever made got very few views. And some of the silliest, most ridiculous stuff has taken off.
90% of my channel right there. I'll spend 20 minutes editing one short, get 10 views, and then deal or something will get 10,000.
I've made some really good videos where I did a lot of editing and had so much to offer in them. It was really good, and they fewer than 1,000 views. And I'll have something ridiculous like the drunks getting thrown out of a football game or something silly, or Jethro barking on a motorcycle, and he'll just take off. And he's like, oh, really? So yeah, there's Mean Street Mopar, who was leading the No Name 500. He's so close, just can just push the door shut on this thing at any time. He's at what, 378, right, Kim? But now I would say, stick to like short videos, right? And then another big thing is, it's really, really important, is the title. It's extremely important, because the title is how anything gets found, right? I mean, otherwise it's like you're throwing a message in a bottle and you're throwing it in the ocean. And so if you have a good title on your video, that's what helps deliver it to people the way they search. And so let's say, I'm doing a title. Let's say I'm doing a video about my van. I want to have 1985 Dodge B150 van. All of that in the title. Because people, you make a video and you produce it like you're talking to your friends and your family. I want to make a video like I'm talking with JB and Lars right there in the room, right? But I can't title it that way.
Yeah, but be redundant in your description. Put the same thing as your title in the description.
Yes.
So,
yes.
It double hit.
Yeah, so in your title, make sure it's got all those key things, right? Like, never title it like you assume the person already looking at your video is going to know what that is, because the YouTube machine that distributes this thing into people's suggestions, it doesn't know that. It won't automatically know that. And those of you who are kind of veterans here know this, you can look at the title and say, well, man, why does JB put 1985 Chevrolet Blazer or what, put all of that in there? Because we know what it is we're looking at. Like, yeah, you know what it is. But that guy that, that works at Walmart, on the other side of the globe somewhere, he doesn't. And this is how that gets into his feed.
Right.
And that's how you title.
Common problem on something, you're making a video on or whatever. That's how somebody searches for it.
I see some of the greatest videos, the worst titles. I give this example every year when we do one of these because it's one of my favorite things. I was scrolling around and I saw this thumbnail. A guy had a wrecker boom down. And his title was Compliance Videos something. I don't know what it was. It's a horrible title. Some kind of compliance something operations for business. What is that? But I saw a wrecker boom in the thumbnail. And that's just randomly what it was. So, okay, I'll click on it. That was the best video. It was this dude trying to repo a car in a trailer park and the family rolling up and trying to stop him and the guy jumping on the boom and he drops the car and the dad pulls a gun on him and the cops arrest the dad. I'm like, this is the greatest video. And the title was trash. I went into his comments. I said, ma'am, I said, if you would retitle this video, White Trash Pulls Gun During Car Repossession in Arkansas Trailer Park, instead of whatever that was he had, instead of having 476 views in 90 days, which is what he had, I remember that number for some reason, 476 views in 90 days. I said, you'd have 476,000. That video's got 1 million views now. He did. He just changed it on my suggestion. It just exploded. Can you pick the thumbnail on shorts? Yes, you can. The key is you got to do it while you're posting it in your phone. Hey, this is a good point. You talk about doing shorts. We did this last time. Lars, can you walk them through doing a short on your phone like you did last time and just show them, flip the screen around and show them? Because that was really cool. We can show you how to change the thumbnail on the shorts and everything.
Yeah, pulled up here.
To do the thumbnail on the short, though, you can take a frame from something in the video. It doesn't have to be random.
Right. Let me see. I might be able to flip this camera.
So Colleen gives a lesson here. And again, we don't mind sharing stuff we've learned from experience like this with you guys. Colleen says, don't name it upgrades for half pint. Name it upgrades on the 88 Ram 50 lessons learned. Right, because people will be searching for Little House on the Prairie for half pint. They're going to be looking for automotive content with 88 Ram 50. That is correct.
All right. Let me see.
Hey, I'll get Junkyard Jay's question here. Junkyard J is posting on Junkyard D's channel. This is Junkyard J. I want to start a channel, but I don't have a laptop. Junkyard D says I don't need one. What do you think? Well, first of all, Junkyard D has already proven he knows what he's talking about, so listen to him. Number two, did you know that I think Andy Wood does everything on his Unity Motorsports Garage channel? I think he does everything on his phone. And Just Mopar Joe does everything on his phone. I mean, combined, those two channels are what are they, Lars? About 70,000 between the two?
Yep.
No, you don't have to have a laptop to start a channel at all. There's things that are handy to have a laptop for when you want to do some complicated editing and stuff, but you absolutely do not need a laptop to start a channel.
I'd say 90% of the stuff we do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in fact, if I was getting started, even if I had access to a laptop, I think you're probably better served by just kind of getting away from it and keeping it simple on your phone to start with until you have some things you want to mix in that require a little bit more elaborate editing.
All right. Let me show you try to do it like this maybe.
All right. Lars is going to show us how it's done. I'm going to make him full screen too.
Got you. So you hit the plus down there, of course. I'm just going to go to a video that I've already got on my phone, which is one I took of Indecisive Garage yesterday. And I think most of the guys, already know how to make a short and stuff. So I'm just going to show how to set
It's 13 seconds. He's in YouTube.
All right.
It's vertical format.
Did it from my library on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a minute to load because. Oh, there we go. I'll hit the check because I've already got it in there. You can tell from up here. Of course, if you wanted to add text, here's where you do it over here. You type whatever you want in. put USA. Then on the timeline, you can add when you want the text to pop up. Then if you go like you're uploading it, Lone Wrench, I think he's who asked, right?
Sure.
Go up here to the, I don't know if you can see it, to that little pencil. You can drag through where you want the thumbnail on the short to be. Then hit done or the check. And there.
You have to do it then, though, because you can't do it later.
Can't go back. And then you just post it like you normally would.
Now put your title. So Lars is going to think up a good title that's going to get maximum search. I would say, how about Ford Lightning Clone?
Can't see. Ford Lightning Clone. There we go.
Cope Racing Trans Brake. You got 100 characters, so use all of them. I mean, it's like you got 100 characters to get maximum search.
I'm terrible with titles, so.
Yeah, well, that's why we're here. We're working on stuff, right?
And then, of course, you want to do hashtags.
Yeah. Now, there's a place to add hashtags in elsewhere, but just remember, you got 100 characters for the title and use all of it you can.
Right.
All the search stuff you can. That is really important. Big Mike says, I got you on background. I do 100% of my channel on my phone. Yeah. Big Mike's a get stuff done guy. We got a lot of get stuff done guys in the chat.
You can add more than one hashtag. I know everybody knows that, but hashtag No Name Nationals, hashtag Ford.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
You can use E4OD. That's the transmission that's in it.
Yeah.
And, if you did like a hashtag CRT, you might get people looking for Cope Racing transmissions. You might get people looking for critical race theory. Either way, you got a view out of it, right?
Hey, whatever. Also, description, we could have done that up here.
Yeah. Yeah. You use all you can. And then the description is a place to add a lot more stuff too.
Right.
Oh, Cowboy Car Crush, there's a lot more you could do on a short. A lot more. And shorts will keep stoking that fire between your videos.
Try to flip you back around.
Yeah, so the way I described that mohawk is I said, we film in gangsta, but that's not really true anymore because we film this way too. Oh, I'm still in solo. Hang on. Yeah, well, we film in gangsta for long format, but for shorts we got to go this way. I don't like that. I wish they'd never done that, but we got to adapt because that's what the world has gone to.
Yep.
Lone Ridge Garage is asking a good question. Should you put subscribe or not throughout your video on your shorts? I've heard it turns off some people.
Yeah. Whenever I first started making shorts, I would put subscribe for more nonsense. And I always thought that it helped because it would get, I'd get a few more subscribers that I could see through the analytics on the shorts. I don't put it on there anymore, but I did used to do that because it helped it. I think it might have, but I wouldn't put it over, like I know you've been doing these shorts at the car show. I wouldn't put it over the car, but like the ones where you have it up.
Right.
Like what the video's about.
Definitely don't annoy any people with it. Like, don't take away any of their content with it, or don't ransom any of their content. I mean, I think that it was a bigger deal back when people used to not know about subscribing, but it's so commonplace to subscribe now. You don't really have to. It's not as important. But I think asking for subscriptions, there's nothing wrong with that. And it might turn some people off. But guess what? You might get 10 subscribers for every one Karen that complains about it. So who cares? Right? I mean,
keep putting it out.
Yeah, do it. I mean, do it if you want to do it.
Keep it up.
Now, here's an important. You see this right here? What Dean has here? That will not be in the feed for No Name Nationals. If you do a hashtag, it's got to be spelled right. As does the stuff in your title to work. Right? That is important. But yeah, title is a big one. As far as production goes, I will say when you're doing videos of yourself presenting, like in your garage, something you're building, you're going to get better and better at it. You would be surprised how much time 1 minute is when you're not trying to just fill it. Right? Main Street Mopar says, unfortunately, 99% of my viewers aren't subscribed. Well, actually look at it like this. That means that 99% of your viewers are a potential new subscriber. I can't say that. I mean, you know, so I would say, no, that might be a good thing. It means you're reaching new people all the time. Yeah. Mohawk, he says Brian will even troll him on that. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, look at it as an opportunity to set the hook every time there, Mean Street Mopar. Just keep putting out that content
and try a mixture of regular, you know, like long form videos, non-shorts, and short, and then maybe a live stream here and there.
Sure. The big one is just don't get paralysis over it. I have watched people in the past say, I'm going to do this video, and it's this big, long 20-minute masterpiece. But I'm telling you, those longer videos, it's harder to get people to take all that time out to watch. Short videos where it's at. And I got to be careful when I say short videos, because now shorts are a thing, and they're their own thing. When I say a shorter video, I just mean a video that is less time to watch. So to get people to first give your channel a chance, you need videos that don't take as much of their time. And it can be a short, a vertical format short. It can also be horizontal format too, but if you're going to do that, stick with videos like 2 minutes, right? They need to be able to say, hey, who is this guy? Literally, while they're in the bathroom getting ready for work, hey, who's this dude working on this, whatever it is, while I'm brushing my teeth? I'm going to watch him, you know, whatever, put on an oil pan gasket or adjust valves on his small block Chevy. That is how you, that's how you get people to watch your stuff.
That's right, folks.
That's it.
I know short the vertical lives people were doing. So I've seen a lot of people get subscribers from that because it puts you in a whole different feed of people scrolling through watching live streams.
Mohawk says something. He says he's glad YouTube extended the shorts to more than 15 or 60 seconds. I am completely opposite. I hate it because now what it means is that we no longer have the much superior horizontal format. Everybody's going to be doing this. And what's bad about that is it misses all of the action, cuts all the cars in half and everything. It's the worst perspective to watch a video. But because most people filming a fist fight at Popeyes film like this, that's what they're catering to. And I wish they hadn't done that because it's lowered the quality of video on YouTube overall. But this is what they're doing. This is what we got to play ball with.
With those longer shorts, you know, people are just scrolling through.
Yeah, they are. And they're not watching them all.
They don't have video themselves. It's being presented to them.
You know, it's funny I say that because probably last time there was someone filming a fist fight short, it was probably Mohawk that broke it up. You know.
What was that? Sorry.
I said probably the last time someone was filming a fist fight short, it was probably Mohawk the one that broke it up.
Probably so.
Probably was, yeah. But I would say those things will at least help you guys get started. You know, I would say a challenge for anybody running a No Name 500 today is go out today and take some video, make some shorts. One thing that Lars and I have recommended, I think, last year is you can schedule these to drop every day. Like you could go out 1 day a week for literally on your lunch break once a week, and you can film 7 days worth of shorts right there.
Yep.
Cut them up, or even just stop, film 7 in a row, and then schedule them to drop each day. And then that will keep your YouTube furnace running. And then the only thing you have to do is keep up with your comments. And that'll keep the viewers coming back. And more viewers, etc., etc. And Mohawk still does his shorts in 60 seconds. I guess habit. I guess so.
I try to keep my shorts down. Well, that doesn't sound right, but my short videos 30 But
so something else to talk about too. I said we do this at the bottom of the hour. I'm way behind on that. Mean Street Mopar did a short yesterday of my mediocre welding skills. You might have gold there because people love to tell you how much they do and don't know about welding in the comments. Oh, all the expert welders crawl out of the pipelines of Canada to come tell you how good of welders they are when you put up anything on the internet about welding. So,
Ugly Welds just to post up there for people to comment on.
Yeah, make sure your title on that has lots of stuff about welding. You know, come tell me how good my welding skills are as a title or something. People love fire, yes. You know what? It's funny you say that, Mohawk. The very first content creator workshop, you know what inspired it? It was many years ago now, and it's because Big Hoopty Mike had this big fireball in one of his videos. I said, Mike, why in the world was that not the thumbnail? Anytime there's fire in the video that happens in the video, it's got to be in the thumbnail. And so Mike made the fire the intro to his channel.
Yep.
And yeah, and I'm like, you know what? We need to have a workshop about this exact kind of stuff. And that's why we started doing these years ago now.
Well,
Twisted Mopar Garage. How's it going, man? You're looking at a content creator workshop. Dennis is one of those reluctant content creators who's, you know, been a long time skilled mechanic and does good work and been doing car stuff forever. He just decided to step out of his comfort zone and start doing the YouTube thing. And Dennis did it.
Yep.
Dennis did it. He's kind of like JB. He's one of these guys that got out of his comfort zone to make it happen. And it's awesome. It's great.
And he's another one, you know, just real simple shorts of what he's painting in that paint booth. It's not over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of guys who do great work, like JB. You know, all the cool stuff that goes on in his garage, sharpening stuff and all of that. And, you know, it's the YouTube thing came later. The experience has been going on for decades with these guys, right? They're just now bringing it to you.
Oh, you know,
it's people like that too.
His channel was just from, he didn't think none of it was real interesting. These machines running or sharpening a saw blade because it was something all every day. But, you know, like you were saying earlier, a lot of these guys do and see interesting stuff every day that they can film shorts on. That's not car related.
Howdy, Mexican Spec. How's it going? Yeah, you can film stuff on anything. So another thing we'll probably mention just because it's a good time to do it. Last year, we had a little challenge to film 30, to put out, I don't care when you film them, 30 shorts in 30 days, right? And everybody won something who did it, right? And it's just for the No Name 500 guys. We can't extend it to the entire YouTube universe. But that said, we actually, people who did it in solidarity with the No Name 500 guys, we did something for them too. But that said, 30 shorts in 30 days from June 5th until July 4th, at least one every day. And the people who did that won something cool. So if you want to do that, and I'm going to tell you, you talk about a way to get your subs. Everyone who did that, we had 22 people do it last year. Everyone who did that made it. There was no one who did that who didn't make it. So 30 shorts in 30 days. June 5th through July 4th. And I'll do it with you. I think, Lars, you did it too with us, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we both did it. Just out of solidarity with you guys. Yeah, I had stuff of car stuff on there. The carnival was in town. I did some of Jethro in there, cleaning tools, Roadrunner horn, different Mopar parts, just stuff in my garage. I just poked around and found 30 days worth of stuff to do.
And then, yeah, you gained it, but I can't remember how many you gained over that.
Oh, I got about 200 and some subs out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 200 and some subs just from those.
Yep. I've even got the statistics from the guys last year on how many they gained in that. There was like Buff's Garage, I think, or what was it? Buff Del Campo gained over 2.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But Buff really took off doing that. He started doing it during the challenge, and it's just kept doing it.
Yep.
Thousands. Mean Street Mopar said he did the 30 in 30 days and only got around 50. But understand, my channel is a lot bigger to start with, so it has that branches on the tree effect. But for you to get 30 shorts 30 days and get 50 subs from your channel size is really good. So it just keeps growing. I predict if you do it this year, you will get a lot more. Buff has almost 5,000 now, so there you go. Dirty shorts for 30 days, I'm in. You can have that one, unfinished project.
What he
Did he do that with us last year too? He might have.
did it.
30 shorts for 30 days. Mexican Spec does mostly shorts is at 1,750. One thing about shorts is, they almost lament seeing people give up the good long form content, but that's the way the whole YouTube is going now anyway. So, but
It'll be interesting this year because I think, they were pushing shorts a lot more last year, but.
The 30 shorts in 30 days, you can do 40 or 50 if you want. It doesn't matter to me, but if you don't miss a day, if you have at least one from June 5th and including June 5th through July 4th and including July 4th, everybody who does that in the No Name 500 is going to win. And last year we extended it to people outside the No Name 500 also, YouTubers in this community outside of that. Because we had several people want to do it, even if they weren't in the No Name 500. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun doing it.
Transit, RD, and Hot Rod Guy Garage also did it.
Yeah, they were doing it. And they all got a lot of subs out of it. I mean, we were doing it for fun with you guys, but still. Yeah, Lars did it. I did it. I got half as many subs from doing that as the No Name 500 guys need altogether, just from that. And it was just for fun. And I plan to do it again. I think it'll be a hoot.
JB said he'd do it.
Yep, JB will do it. He's in.
We'll have some Ace Hard.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Exactly.
We're going to see some Ace Hardware and Kung Fu and sharpening shorts.
Yeah. Oh, y'all just going to keep ribbing me over that one.
Well, listen, we'll keep ribbing you. We know you can break our ribs. I mean, it's good natured.
Anybody that'll beat up a poor tree.
Twisted Mopar says my goal is to try to have a lot. Yeah, of course. Twisted Mopar, I think he'll be okay. To tell him that he was like, man, he was getting kind of discouraged at it, and he just worked through it and blasted through it and got his subs and interacts, and now he's going to do a live. And I'm like, wow, talk about a guy turning it around. Lone Wrench Garage says, I'm in. He did it and bannered up. Yep, indeed. Buff says, I need help being a better content creator. Teach me stuff. But I'll tell you something. In all seriousness, that attitude is why Buff has 50,000 or more than that now. But that's why Buff has the subs that he does. Buff would be a good one. What advice do you have these guys? We're just having a little informal workshop for guys who are trying to get their subscribers. They're in the No Name 500. They're running. They want to get their 500 so they can participate at the No Name Nationals. What is your advice to a brand new channel trying to get off the ground as a guy who has done it?
Right back.
Okay, then here's what you do, Ken. Put it in a different place in the background of every one of your videos, like an Easter egg, and people keep seeing it back there. They'll keep tuning in to see where they can find it next. And have fun with it. Levi's listening while working on the Laguna. If I can help, please let me know. Well, all of you guys who are established channels, especially veterans of the No Name 500, feel free to share what you did that worked for you and got you your 500, because that's what this stream is for. Dennis says, I don't care about being monetized. Just want to have fun. Exactly. I don't care about being monetized either, but I am. And whatever little bit I make goes into the No Name Nationals, but I don't do this for the money. I do this for the community. In fact, we've made a shirt that says exactly. Yeah, Lars is wearing it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there was a big content creator one time that alleged that it was either fame or money are the only two reasons people get into YouTube. And I'm like, oh, no, they are not. All right, this is Buff's advice. Collaboration, love your project. And if you can't finish the project all in one video, then leave a cliffhanger so they come back for more. Good advice from a guy who knows. Mater, when are you going to upload that video? What day and what time? Levi's suggestion is to participate in the community in general. A lot of people will check your channel out after sharing comments. And that is exactly right. Levi was always there. He was always in people's live streams. He was always mixing and mingling. And that causes people to check out what you're doing. Unfinished project said all the hay is down and got to repair the baler in less than 2 days. You can do it. I know you can.
Ninja. Yeah, I would say collaborations, they're a good thing to do. If there's any people local to you, maybe try to reach out.
Yeah. Well, if both of you can help yourselves, keep each other accountable and move forward and post content, that's a win-win for both of you right there.
That Mohawk was saying that comments earlier back, him up here doing some lives. We went down the live stream stuff, and that definitely helped out his channel and JB's.
Dean says he wouldn't mess with JB. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't mess with JB. I mean, we like to have fun with JB, but I'm going to tell you what, you wouldn't want to fight him. Mater says it's uploading my computer now. Be on the channel. Well, right on. Cool. Excellent. Buff says for a car guy, the YouTube formula gets me the most views is get car, fix car, do something with car. I always get the highest views using that formula if it's all in one video. This is true. This is true. This way people, they get a payoff in the video. When they click on Buff's video, they know they're getting a payoff and they'll keep coming back. There is a commitment to make some content to do that, though.
Right.
Levi says, if you are in between long form videos, post a few shorts. The topic doesn't matter, but it keeps some of your subscribers engaged in the channel. I would agree with that.
Yep.
Lone Ridge Garage says Bethesda themed cars, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Okay, what is that exactly?
Yeah, I would say give dates, your project or whatever is definitely.
There we go. That's the Buff's Garage does a lot of themed cars, which are pretty cool. Yeah, he does. Buff's a cool guy. I remember when Buff was just starting. I think in 2022, Buff had just right north of the 500 sub mark to get in the No Name 500. So he couldn't be in the No Name 500 because he had just over 500 subs, if I recall. It was under 1,000. He was ahead of the over 500 subs. But if not, he'd have been all about it. I mean, Buff's that kind of guy. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. I'm happy to see his channel take off and him doing what he's doing with it. I think it's great. And I'm always happy to see channels doing well and succeeding. And man, when a channel flies by me on subs and is rocking on and living life and doing great, I am so happy for him. I know I was Two Hack Jeff's first sub, his very first sub. He got engaged for the No Name 500 the very first year. He has, what does he have, like 15,000 now? He's killing it. There's a lot of channels like that, actually.
It just comes with time. And those guys just kept posting and got better.
Bear Rose is around 5,000 subs. I think he had 42, in January of 2022. But I saw him out in the snow moving cars around. I said, here's a guy that's going to do it. If he's out in the snow doing this stuff, he means it, right? Mexican Spec said Jeff is doing things nobody else is doing. Jeff has an old school channel, and I don't think he ever sleeps. I literally don't think Jeff sleeps about 3 hours a night. And he's always got stuff going on. And that's a big deal. He's always making it happen. Buff says a couple too many to get in the No Name 500. Yeah, but he went from under 1,000 to 2,500 the day he rolled into the No Name Nationals. Yeah, he 2,500 day rolled in. And where are you now, Buff? You're like, last time I noted you were like at 60 or so.
67.8.
And Buff, see, Buff says this. I don't agree with this necessarily. Wouldn't have done it without John. But here's the thing. There's always one little thing that encourages somebody to do something. This is all Buff. This is Buff getting the most out of himself, right? I mean, but I'm glad if there's one little thing that I did that encouraged you to help you get the most out of yourself, you did it. But none of you guys did it on account of me. I just gave everybody an excuse and a time to get together in the middle of the country, right? See about it, right? I rented the venue and picked the day, and y'all did the work. I don't take any credit for what any of you guys did at all. Buff is a rock star, and he did it. And I'll tell you what, too, you go back and watch some of his older streams, his Pontiac streams, they're great. His Power Hour, I love that. I thought that was great. I mean, he's tried new stuff and made it work. I want to say Buff called me about that right after when we first announced the event and said he's going to make it happen. And he was at work. He was at work, and it was a quiet time at work. And he gave me a call. I'm like, man, this guy sure sounds motivated. Man, did he ever do it?
We like old Buff. He's watched some of my videos and found out he can fix a transmission by himself.
Yeah, he says he refined his process and collaborated with the right folks to get. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's awesome. Mayor's getting close to 1,000. Don't forget to find the cotter pin on Buff's shirt. Oh yeah, Junk Car Willie. Boy, there's another one. I love the Junk Car Willie story. I want to have Junk Car Willie on a live sometime. And that guy right there, he is a warrior. Junk Car Willie, in fairness to him, and I'm not picking on Willie at all. Willie will gladly tell you he is not this high-tech dude, right? He had so much trouble trying to register for the No Name Nationals. But by the time he actually registered, I think, and mailed me a check, or however it was he wound up doing it, he had his 500 subs. He tried to register before he had 5. So he never technically made it in the No Name 500, even though he had fewer than 500 subs. But that dude just went out to junkyards and the side of the road with his camera in his phone in the junkyard and just started filming stuff and putting it out and filming stuff and putting it out. He got what, 15,000 subs now? He is a warrior. Junk Car Willie is awesome. Yeah, here's something good too. Buff said, what do you think of Falkenstein painting it the weekend? One thing that I like about Buff is we were talking about how people get paralysis because they're afraid to do something. They want to get something just right. Buff is not that way. Buff is like, we got to keep stuff moving. And so he says, I painted it in a weekend. There's not many people willing to do that. And I think it's great. I do. I think it's great. 30 shorts in 30 days. I'll give it a try. Evening No Name National. So Dizzy, here's the deal. We're going to have a prize for all the No Name 500 people currently running who do a short, at least one every day from and including June 5th through July 4th. One every day or more. However, last year we extended it to people who already had their subs, doing it with them out of solidarity. We included them too. Twisted Dennis says, I'll be happy to break the 1,000 ceiling. Yeah, you will. Just keep doing what you're doing. Buff says, always moving, never stop. But couldn't have painted it without Hog Shooter Hot Rods guiding me. Yeah. I really like, okay. Unfinished Project says 17.6K Junk Car Willie. Yeah, exactly. He's at 17,600. He is amazing. Willie is amazing. And you talk about a guy who does it on a shoestring budget. He bought an $800 Buick Riviera and drove it all the way from Mason, West Virginia to Sykeston and back and slept in it and took it down the drag strip. Willie is a make it happen kind of guy. Anybody who doesn't like Junk Car Willie, there's something wrong with that person. We all like Junk Car Willie. Main Street Mopar says, I'll do the 30 shorts. Yeah, do it. It's fun. I'm going to do it with you guys. I'm going to do it. We'll have some fun. Yeah, any of you guys who want to get in on this, we're going to have some fun.
Uh-oh. Short in progress, JB says.
Oh, look out. Dizzy says, Twisted Mopar Garage. If I get to 1,000, good. If I don't, just as good. Yeah, I mean, you know, we're not in this for some kind of glory or anything. It just, the whole point of the No Name 500, for those of you who don't know, and I've said this before, it has nothing to do with prestige. It's not to gatekeep. It has nothing to do with any of that. When people have that common experience of working together and posting that content and interacting in the comments and all this stuff, by the time they do that, you have a really strong fraternity. Everybody knows you. They're going to know your name before you roll through the gate. You're going to know them when you roll in the gate. It's great. It really improves the experience. And when people all know each other before they even get there, you know, as a promoter, how great it is that for 3 years we've had this and we've never had one fight. 3 years we've had this and we've never had litter left around on the grounds. I could literally take one little Kroger bag and pick up anything that blew out of someone's trailer on that whole 22-acre property because people strive to leave it so clean. And by people knowing each other and being friends before they get there goes so far for that. Buff says, I miss the days when YouTube subs could be had just by adding shorts. Well, they still can. They still can. Although things are a little bit different at your level. Buff says, No Name is a big family. Everyone knows everyone and want to have fun with cars. Yes, and that is exactly the point. That's exactly the point. There's all kinds of other things we can do in the automotive world, and there's so many things that are done for other reasons. I have no problem people doing this stuff for money and no problem people doing this stuff for fame. That's not why we do it. And so, you know, I mean, I don't have any problem with that. We do it for community. Dean Stevenson's going to ask Kylie Minogue if she wants to join in. Yep, sure. Sounds great to me. Probably wouldn't be safe for her to leave her wax statue there. There's an article about what happened to her wax statue. People kept stealing the underwear off of it in the museum. UP doing videos? Oh, yeah. Unfinished Project's done a lot of videos, Mohawk.
He just put a short out, I think, days out.
Yeah, he does. No Name Nationals is one big family reunion where some drag racing breaks out. Yes, that is a great description of such. And people who get that and understand that have a great time. It's people who think that this is like a cutthroat race for points and all of this. They're the ones that have a harder time getting it. Well, Dizzy, you know, you can make videos about Cope too, you know.
That is your right.
Sure.
I can't see that far away.
Hey, and Buff, by the way, too, one thing that we're going to change about it for this year. Last year, people said, man, I want to do some night racing. I want to do some night racing. So last year, you know what? We had the ability for people to get in the lanes and make some passes at night, right? You know how many people did it? No one, because they were worn out. It sounded great on Thursday, but when Saturday rolled around, they were worn out. So this year, what we're going to do is what we know people really want to do. We're going to have a big cookout, you know, a big community cookout in the pits, tables, smoke meat, and all that good stuff on Saturday night. And basically make it like an awards banquet. I hope you can come back, Buff. We'd love to have you again.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you really want to see Mr. Rodder Dallas doing Mr. Rodder stuff, there's no better place to see that in action than No Name Nationals. Dallas comes out and is having a good time. He's there doing fun stuff and not all the crazy stuff that comes with life he's normally found doing. Unfinished Project says nothing more exciting than a little friendly rivalry and playful. But as long as it's good natured, yeah, that's great.
Another thing, you know, for some of the guys trying to get their subs, you know, you could do some call out videos.
Boy, wouldn't that be great? That was the lifeblood of the first year, and we've watched that taper off, unfortunately. And the reason is not because people don't like it. It's because what you find is for call-outs to work, both you and your dance partner have to get your stuff there.
I think I got
dependent on that.
I hear by a couple people that didn't show up, but it's all good.
Yeah, it needs to happen. And you know, when you watch things on television, remember, a lot of that stuff is filmed in advance. It's in the bank in advance. They can promote it knowing the outcome. Not so much with YouTube, right? So with YouTube, we're trying to tell what's going to happen in the future, but both parties have to do all that is required to make it get there.
But if you know, you call some people out and then somebody watches the other person's video, oh, I don't know who, you know, Lone Ranger, for example, then they go check out his channel, you know.
Mater says that we'll all get a kick out of the video he just uploaded. A good laugh. Sure, if one of the mods wants to post a link to Mater's video, go ahead. Buff says, my budget this year is currently allocated for power tour and duct tape drags. If I sell a lot of merch before No Name Nationals, I might pull it off. Well, feel free to drop a link. I mean, you know, we'd like to see you there. So it's a different event. I'm not trying to compete with anything. I'm just getting the venue for our friends to all come out and enjoy our content creator family reunion. Unfinished Project puts up the link to Mater's video, so. Yeah, Dean admits that he is the thief in question there. Madame Tussauds. Yeah, I remember that article. I thought it was funny. But back before we keep digressing off this cliff that we're on here, does anybody have any questions about content creation in general, things that we can do to offer to help? Because I know we socialize on Friday, and it's great. We've got a lot of folks in here we don't normally get to see on Fridays. But, you know, any questions on that? While you guys have that, Mohawk says that's what the No Name Nationals community is. Buff towed a non-running Pontiac to the event. People jumped in, and by the end, Buff was driving the car around the pits on its own power. Amazing community. Yes, it is. Dallas says, I'm going to call out Buff in his 200 cubic inch Ford Fairmont versus my 78 Buick Century with a 196 V6 Buick. Okay. Sounds like fun. Yeah, I guess just in summary, because I don't know how long we'll be live today. Even though we have a pretty good crowd in here now. One thing I'll say is you know, get started today. If you're stuck on making content, get out there today. Put out a video of some kind every day just to keep that algorithm stimulated, keep YouTube pushing you, putting something out there. Keep it short. Have a little topic and just keep it short. There's nothing worse than a 2-minute video crammed into 10, if you know what I mean, right? 30 seconds of looking at your feet, walking from a toolbox to a car is not helping you. So keep it short. You know, a minute or two of content is a lot. And that's kind of what shorts has backed us up. We used to say this before shorts were such a big thing. But a minute or two of content is a lot for video. A 2 or 3 minute video. If you can get people to watch a 2 or 3 minute video and it's got a payoff in there for them to watch it, something you say you're going to do and it happens, something you say you're going to make run and it does, that's a big deal. You'll get your subs.
Yeah, you can always go back to the title of a video too, especially on the short. If it doesn't do what you think it needs to do, you know, experiment with the title.
Yeah, Buff says he wants to make Fred the little farm truck ready to compete for duct tape, so it'll be a good trial run if he's done by then. Sure. Oh, boy, Dean is talking about the switch pitch. Yep. Dallas says, talk about titling your videos properly, choosing the correct date and time to release a video. Yeah, I don't know as much about the dates and times as much as just doing it with regularity. I mean, there's a lot of people who will try to time the release, but I think what's even more important is just doing a release every day than trying to do the right time. What are your thoughts on that, Lars?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I know you can go into the analytics and see when more people are into viewing your channel and stuff at what time of the day, but I always just post stuff whenever I get it done. I don't know too much about that, but
Dizzy's trying to do some poetry here. I'll save this little snippet out. You guys can snip this out and send it to Cope. In Chicago lives a man named Cope who thinks cruelty is a joke. Don't care about the mamas crying. Care less their children are dying. I guess that's what that is. So long as he can own the libs, maybe a little harsh. I don't know that necessarily flows off the tongue, Dizzy, but that's a good try there. We'll send that to him. Maybe he can make a reply from his boat. Buff says, titles and thumbnail are critical. I often change them if the video isn't catching traction. Also, find out when your viewers are watching or release the video. You can, yeah. And so one thing I always tell people too is, again, remember, Buff, we're getting people who are trying to get their first 500, their first 100, right? And so if we just get them posting every day, and then once they post every day, they're like, okay, now when is the best time to put this out? And so it's a sequential thing, right? But yeah, I mean, Buff is right, and if you want to do what Buff is doing, do what Buff is doing. Listen to what Buff is saying. Buff is not a jealous guy. I can't speak for him, but he certainly seems to know that, you know, there is room for everybody who puts in the effort to make it and work, right? And there is. Alva's here, says hello, howdy. Titles and thumbnail are critical, especially with shorts, the thumbnail, because people scroll to watch those. The title is definitely critical. Wow, Alva's at 438. And by the way, he says John's advice. This isn't my advice. I don't teach anything new. I probably have one little new thing out of 100 things. It's just this amalgamation of everything everybody teaches in here, right? I mean, we've learned stuff from Lars. We've learned stuff from Buff. We've learned stuff from our friend Buzz. We've learned stuff from Barrows. We've learned stuff from Buck. All of these people, right? I mean, and we take all these things, we figure out, you know, and so of this bucket of new things, right, that I share on here, I don't know, maybe one or two of them are something I've figured out, but, you know, certainly I'm just grains of sand in that bucket of stuff everybody's figured out. I'm just sharing it. Dallas says, I generally make 2 thumbnails for each video, then I wait to see which one catches my eye before posting. Yeah, and sometimes Dallas will send me 2 of them and says, which do you think? I know he does that sometimes. Alva says, I once said to pump out the shorts and it's working for me. Yes, it will. Buff says, post shorts every day if trying to gain traction. Minimum 1 long form a weekish to stay relevant. I think that's a great formula. I completely agree with that.
Just keep posting.
Yep. Just don't bog down. Anybody have any questions specifically? Again, you know, I'm not saying that we know, but we know people who know. And sometimes the question can be outside the scope. I mean, remember, all we're doing here is trying to help people get their channel unstuck from wherever it is now. I got to tell you, of the 4 people running in the No Name 500, I mean, until recently, we've seen a lot of people just getting stuck, right? Hasn't been a lot of big movement within the No Name 500 in the last couple of months. Although Tim did just get a bunch of new subs here a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Indecisive Garage did. So they can all make it, but it's time to get it moving. And what would help it get it moving? A bunch of new shorts. And I predict that every one of them who does the 30 shorts in 30 days from June 5th to July 4th, I predict every one of them will make it. Whoever does that's going to make it. Dean says, my favorite is to have a live with you and learn Spanish. That's love. Cool. Now, one thing I'll say about live streams to try to gain subs from them, because I see people trying to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to have lives, do it. I don't see as many people clamoring to do lives as they once did. It was a real thing a couple of years ago, right? And people talk about the watch hours. That's a thing for monetization, right? I'm just talking about the challenge of getting your subscribers. You can go live if you want, but I'll tell you something I think kind of harms your efforts is when you're spending the time you could be making content on your project and they don't because they hang out doing a live. So there's different channels do different things. If you want to use a live in place of a video to show the fire up or something like, oh, that's different. That's completely different. Buff said it's kind of like finishing your project. Do one thing every day. Fix something. Turn a wrench. Make a video and post. He's right.
Yeah.
He's right. You know, that reminds me of when he says that. It's like the Nelsons, Nivlac 57. Those guys show you the power of doing one little thing here and one little thing there and a 10-minute.
Well,
buffering. He might be back.
There we go. Yeah. I don't know what was up with that. No, the Nelsons will do a 10-minute job here, a 10-minute job there, and have a stable of race cars because they never stop doing that. They just keep adding up all of these little jobs until they have the whole thing done. It's amazing to watch them work. It really, and they'll put you to work too. The Nelsons are legit and great people. 100%. 100%. Some of the finest people, finest human beings I have ever met. He was doing a Tom Muse pose. The Tom Muse pose is jumping off the live stream when you get caught telling one and have to flee from it. That's what the Tom Muse pose is.
That guy.
Yeah, I won't even get started on that dude.
Down there is Al-Qaeda bunker.
Unfinished Project said, if someone wants to make me a bacon, sausage, scrapple, and egg sandwich, I'll eat it. I don't know. I don't know that I'd make that promise, Unfinished Project. I think Mater needs to make you that and mail it from Texas in a paper bag. Put that in a paper bag, tape it shut, write your address on it. I'll send him the postage, and he can just throw that in the mail. And when it gets to you in Delaware, yeah, you got to film yourself eating it.
I'll donate the bacon.
Don't fall asleep on your live. Well, I'll tell you, I know a channel that's got 700 and some subs from falling asleep on his own live.
Mohawk?
And that same person who falls asleep on his live is proof. You don't ever have to actually make anything run or actually make any progress to get people to watch you work on stuff. You just have to keep trying.
7 layers minimum.
No, 7 layers is maximal.
My bad.
Like a Nissan Maximal, the car. Left's Garage says, I have a week to fix some issues for Power Tour, but thanks for keeping these lives going, John. Hey, thanks for being here. I'm live every Friday, and then these odd Sunday ones are just for the content creator workshops. And then, of course, when somebody is on the cusp of 500, we like to go live together with them to get it. But thanks for being here, man. And maybe we'll stream together sometime. I'd like to do that. But does anybody have any questions? We'll probably shut it down here at the bottom of the hour. You got Lars in the house, and Lars knows a lot of stuff. He's really good with doing his shorts.
And if anybody wants to reach out, they can get a hold of you to get a hold of me.
Yeah. Hey, so Buff says, I think I'll take on the challenge of 1 short a day for members this week. Yeah, you know what? Sounds like a good thing. You know what? I'll text you. I hope Lars will remind me. I'll text you as soon as we're done here. Mine's going to run from June 5th to July 4th, including the June 5th and July 4th dates. So, yeah, we can have a little fun and cross-promote there or something. I don't know. Might be fun.
I don't know, but Lars knows how to do his shorts. Exactly what you're talking about, because I'm not sure.
What?
No, Lars knows about shorts. He's good at that.
You do
I
your
can do shorts.
How do you do? Do you iron your shorts?
Arch.
Okay.
Mohawk says, JB, you look like your face hurts.
Dang it, that was uncalled for.
You look like I feel.
May do one a day for Power Tour also. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of content out there. There's never a lack for that. I'll tell you the thing that always scares me. I had one No Name 500 guy say this a couple years ago. He said, I'm out of ideas. I think that's the worst thing I can ever hear, because to me, there's an unlimited number of ideas. There's only the energy and work ethic and desire and energy to do them all, right? That's the only limitation. When I hear I'm out of ideas, like, that's a problem.
I mean, when we were trying to get JB doing videos on frogs bouncing around in the backyard, we were.
Yep. Well, you can watch Buff. I mean, Buff couldn't live 10 lifetimes and get all of his ideas done. That's what a good content creator should be able to do, is have enough ideas for 10 lifetimes. Yeah, I enjoy watching Lars. Lars is a good dude. Lars helps me tremendously behind the scenes too with YouTube stuff. He's just great.
Appreciate you, Buff.
$10 by 6 of peaches. Yeah, this is peach country here, man. Just south here, actually. Once you come off the mountain into Cana and south of there. There's a short in anybody's daily life? Absolutely.
Right.
If you don't do anything in your entire day that's worthy of a short, you didn't live life that day. Big Mike likes to be live when someone comes close to 500 so he can see unfinished project, get another one. Yeah, he tries to be the 500th sub for each channel. Mater's doing a video getting his Coleman camping gear ready for No Name Nationals 2025. Yeah, do it.
There you go.
I agree.
Pack all that on that motorcycle and ride out here or there.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty to do shorts on. So we'll shut down at the bottom of the hour, but if anybody's got any questions, stick around for another 7 minutes, and then we'll call it a day and let everybody get on with their Sunday. But we wanted to give this opportunity, and we want to help everybody. I would love to see a 100% graduation rate of the No Name 500 this year. That would just be fantastic. We've never had that before. We average about 75. That's right about where we average. Every year, it's about the same. It was a little higher last year, a little lower year before that. It was about 70% the first year. That's right about where we average. So I would love to see us have, because the No Name 500 is smaller than normal this year, the event is not. We have all these guys re-registering as established channels, which is wonderful. They come back, but it makes the No Name 500 itself smaller each year. But I'd love to see them all make it this year. Nick the Fan Man sends a super chat. Thank you, Nick. And again, I don't solicit super chats on this channel. There's enough people on the internet asking for money as it is. I'm not one of them. But any super chats we get go straight to coffers of No Name Nationals. So thank you. We appreciate it, Nick. And Lars, he's asking Lars how that 351 is going. How's it going on that, Lars?
Going good, man. JB's little 2.8. Right after this, we're about to drop into the Blazer. But I've got the 351. It's all tore down and everything. I've got the truck full of parts to put the whole bottom end and everything together. So hopefully I can get on that tomorrow evening. I'm going to start putting the bottom end of that Windsor back together and get it down in that truck. So a little behind schedule. It's been a crazy year, but we're on it. And thanks again for the hookup, Nick.
Nick's a good dude.
Absolutely. And very smart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, but if you guys have any other questions, any specific questions, you can just let us know. Here's the big thing. It's something I might know a little bit about, fine, but we have specialists all through our community that specialize in different things, right? And if the question is in line with what they know and is more in their wheelhouse, I'll get it to them. right? Because I might be able to give you a so-so or okay answer, but I want to get you the best answer I can, right? So like my specialty on YouTube, and you guys know this, is the live stream, right? That's my thing. And so if you have questions about how to live stream and all, because I've done this for years, so there's all kinds of things. I know stuff that works and stuff that doesn't, and stuff that may work for me and may not work for you, and vice versa. I'm glad to share it, right? But other people are really good at doing shorts. Lars is better at doing shorts than I am. I can do them, but Lars is like, that's his thing. He's good at doing shorts. There's other people that are really good at editing, right? Like if you had a question on how to do a more complicated edit or something you wanted to showcase in your long form video, someone like Bad Tree Blake, that'd be an excellent person to ask, right? Not saying that there's none of the people who can do it, as with all of our skill sets, but Blake, he's really good at that. So everybody here's got things they're better at and specialize in. And so if you get your question to me, I'll try to get it to that person who I think can best help you. Because to me, there's room for all of us doing all of our different and unique things. I love the diversity of this community, all the different cars, all the different people and the skills and all of that. And whatever I can do to help everybody get the most out of their own individual YouTube journeys, I'm all for it. And he knows how to ride a monkey bike. Indeed. Mohawk says, doing a drive-along video with me seems to get watched too. I enjoy the ones Lars does. I do them on occasion, like with the Jeep, because it's so wild.
Yeah.
Lone Wrench Garage says, thanks for the help today, guys. And Lars, thanks for all the likes and comments. It encourages me to continue pushing on. I will say, I watch Lone Wrench Garage occasionally, and I get a lot of different content. I watch his occasionally. I kind of binge it a little bit. I should do more commenting over there. But, yeah, he's got a good channel. And I would love to, it'd be just great. It doesn't matter what order the No Name 500 guys finish in. It doesn't matter. They're all winners. I'd love to see him surge past everybody and get his 500 first, right?
It
could happen.
He's putting out a bunch of good short videos right now. Go check. And it only takes one, man. I'm telling you, just keep it up.
Cope is in the house. Howdy, how's it going? You came up in conversation earlier. Dizzy was in here. And anyway, he said, maybe y'all can have a good back and forth. I said, we'll send it to you and you can respond from your, he made a little poem about you, Cope. I said, we'll send it to you. You can respond from your boat. But yeah, we just had an open forum today for people to ask content questions and hopefully to help them out. And that's all today is for. That's it. We're going live. We're actually going off live here in about a minute. So we got a minute left if anybody has anything. And if you have any questions, feel free to text or email them to me or just leave them in the comments of this video. It's perfectly fine.
There you go.
One Eye Cat says we did cam bearings, new set to arrive Monday. Cool. Excellent.
Fun stuff.
Yep.
And a ring. I know he's on the hunt for a piston ring.
Yep.
Main thing is just keep posting, guys. Right.
Yeah, the people who don't give up are the people who make it.
That's the biggest piece of advice I can give any of them.
From a guy who's done it right there. You have any advice, John Cope? Because you had just enough subs to not be in the No Name 500 that first year, and now you've got around 5,000 and some. Do you have any advice for these guys trying to get their channels moving, John Cope? Thumper here says, I hate cars. That's good advice. Cope says persistence. That's good advice. Don't forget, we're not just talking YouTube channels here. We're talking about a guy who built a business from scratch too. I mean, you got to respect that, right? I tell people in real estate, I tell agents, whether you like an agent or you don't like an agent or their style is different or whatever, just remember this. If they've made a living in real estate for a generation, you have to respect that they know something about making it in a business that very few people do, right? And so when anybody, I don't care who they are, has made a living in business for a generation like Cope has, he knows something, right? And he built his YouTube channel from scratch and has 5,000 subs. So I ask that of anybody in the chat who's done it. Anybody who's done it, what's your advice for people who are trying to do it? Thumper's fighting his blower engine. Well, that's the thing about blower engines. They're supposed to be fought. Yeah. If they were sedate and easy to get along with, they wouldn't be blower engines now, would they? Well, guys, we're past our time. I said we go off here at the bottom of the hour. Thank you guys for coming out. We appreciate you. I appreciate having Lars on today, and we can always do another workshop like this a little closer to time. But I really love to see a 100% graduation rate for Lone Ridge Garage, Indecisive Garage, Stinger Salvage, Mean Street Mopar. Those are the 4 who are registered, who still need to graduate, and we can have a 100% graduation rate for the first time ever in the history of the No Name Nationals. Don't forget about Wednesday Tech Talk on the AHRA channel. It's a great crowd over there. And if you register for the No Name Nationals, every registered channel gets a 10 to 15% discount at edelbrock.com. Everything in their catalog. And as we buy together as a group, we can move toward an even better pricing. So do remember that. That's a great perk that Edelbrock is throwing us just for registering for the No Name Nationals. They are not an event sponsor. It is just a perk, but we are kind of like the test group for them doing this for a group. We're the only group in the world they do this for. They do it for businesses, but we're the only group. So let's take advantage of that, right? 10 to 15% off everything at edelbrock.com. And we have our own concierge at Edelbrock, Alex So. How cool is that, right? He's very knowledgeable, very helpful. So do remember that. And again, I'll be live again here next Friday, and we'll see you guys then. So with that, have a great rest of your weekend, and we are out.
Appreciate y'all.